good job. He's going to shelf the leg here, and he's going to try to bring Ferrari back inside. Notice he's going thigh pry with that right hand above the knee. This is really tricky. In freestyle, when you can't finish, you just run a guy out of bounds. So that outside circle is treacherous as a wrestler in freestyle, but in folk style, it's a safety net. When you get into a precarious situation, you want to find your way to the edge and hopefully get a fresh start.
Max McAnally, the Golden Gopher, first period takedown there on 5. Third, a year ago, he had that classic semifinal with Parker Kekheisen of Northern Iowa. Soldano, of course, on mat number 4. He'll throw everything at you in about 15 kitchen sinks.
Yeah, and we know how dangerous he is, how offensive he can be, and he has certainly gotten off to a great start so far in this tournament, putting up double digits in his first 2 bouts as well. And I think a lot of people are assuming he can get through Knightenbach here in this quarterfinals. They want to see him against one of these 2 guys in the bottom right in mat 6.
How are things going for you, Jordan, with your youth club?
It's awesome, man. You know, I had this conversation this morning. We talked a little bit about youth wrestling. I've been at the top of the totem pole for such a long period of time that it's almost like being in a 5-star restaurant and being there as a food critic. Someone serves you, they bring out this plated food, it's decorated neatly, and it's beautiful, it tastes good. But when you see how the food is actually prepared, you go into the back kitchen and you recognize, man, it's some dicey occurrences that are happening here in order to prep and prepare this food. And so being in the youth space has changed my perspective on how these wrestlers have been built. I wish I could say it's a place where integrity dwells, but it really is a place of good intentions, most of the time poor execution. We're trying to do it differently. When we moved back to Jersey, we knew that my son Beacon, he wanted to wrestle. And a lot of the clubs locally didn't have what we were looking for. And so we just decided to build it ourselves. And we're in our 3rd year now, and we've generated a significant amount of buzz in our area. Just creating community and fellowship as our primary focus, knowing that winning will come next.
If you had to summarize how you guys are thinking about your approach for teaching wrestling to young boys and girls, philosophically, how do you think about it?
I think that there is a level of peacefulness and contentment that you must possess on your journey. Tom Brady said it best. Someone asked him, which of your Super Bowl rings is the most important? And he said, my next one. You can never have enough. Everyone asks me, hey, man, 7 world championships. Which one is your most important? I'm like, I should have 9. Right? So, like, you're never satisfied. The goal is always going to be to win more. And so teaching these guys that winning doesn't define you. Wrestling is just a vessel that we chose to become better men.
Brock Manzanona on mat number 4. Soldano dangerous. Brock Manzanona dangerous as well, and he gets the fall on 4. Manzanona into the semis for the Maize and Blue. He'll join his teammate Lachlan McNeil, who will wrestle in the semis at 149. Sinclair and Ferrari, no score. McAnally and Knightenbach in a tight one on mat number 5.
Yeah, McAnally got out to the early lead with the takedown, but Knightenbach able to kind of improve the deficit, only down by 1 midway through the 2nd. And Sinclair, we saw early in that match, was in on a leg on the edge, unable to score on Ferrari, and now a 1-0 match midway through the 2nd.
Rocco Welsh, 4-0 lead on Silas Allred of Nebraska. You, of course, Jordan, wrestled at Nebraska for head coach Mark Manning. What was that experience like?
Fiercely loyal. Mark Manning, he is one of those guys that will do anything for his athletes. He'll fight for you, literally fight for you. There are times where he was jumping up onto the stage trying to fight my opponents, the opposing coaches, all in support of his athlete. He is a phenomenal guy, allowed me to be myself. You know, it was a complete culture shock coming from New Jersey all the way to Lincoln,
Sicklerville, right?
Sicklerville, New Jersey, that's right. I love it, Shane. And he allowed for me to thrive and be myself, and that was really ultimately why I love him. While we'll be connected to this day. Every time I go back to Lincoln, it feels like home.
Short time, 2nd period with McAnally and Knightenbach. Ferrari 1-0. He's got the lead on Sinclair midway through the 2nd. That's on mat number 6.
A good attack there by McAnally. Again, just so offensive, constantly looking for those leg attacks, level change.
Who do you like tonight? 133 with Jax Forrest and Aaron Seidel. They've had a history.
That's tough
putting you really on the spot.
Why are you doing this to me, Shane? That's tough to call. Those guys have both looked phenomenal throughout the tournament. Both got tech falls. in the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament as freshmen. That's just unheard of. They're blitzing the field. But I tell you what, Seidel was the only guy that gave Jax Forrest a competitive match this year. I believe it was a 10-9 score, and he
took him down a few times.
3 takedowns.
Yes.
3 takedowns in the match, which is incredible considering the fact that no one's found a way to crack the code that is Jax Forrest, and he should still be in high school. He should have still been wrestling.
Began the year in high school.
It's a wild thing to see how good these guys are becoming at such a young age, but I love it. I love it. I'm excited to watch the match. I can't call it. I think it's going to be incredible. The fans win. How about that? That's my politically correct answer.
That's a great answer because it's true. Simon Ruiz of Cornell gets a fall on mat number 8, bottom right. He'll get his arm raised. I got to ask you this question, Jordan. 7-time world champ, Olympic champ, 2-time NCAA champion. I asked Tony Ersland once, who coached you at Nebraska as an assistant, something about you that is, and I asked him this several years ago, but something about you that's maybe underappreciated. And he goes, I don't think people understand how tough Jordan Burroughs is. What is the toughest moment you faced and overcame in your career?
Ooh, it was definitely 2013 when I broke my ankle 28 days before the World Championship. So we were 4 weeks from the day that my ankle was fractured to the day that I had to compete at the World Championships. I had surgery the very next day. And there were many times in that period where I didn't believe it was possible for me to win. Testament to the leadership that I had around me. Tony Ersland, Mark Manning, all of the phenomenal coaches and training partners that I had during that period of time who kept me locked in even when I didn't believe myself.
Injury on mat number 3. Working on Silas Allred. Riding time and on factor on 5. It's a 1 takedown match with McAnally and Knightenbach.
Angelo Ferrari is always going to find his way in a close match. Huh? My goodness. Every single match of his is a 1 takedown, 1 score match.
But isn't that an extremely scary place to live?
100%. You live by the sword, you also die by it. I would say primarily all of his losses this season have come from a single takedown or single sequence. He goes to overtime a lot.
It's important. It's tough to do that just generally, but in particular in this tournament with the crowd and the anxiety, that's a difficult place to live.
Unless you're Kellen Russell, 14-0 in his career in overtime.
My youth drilling partner, Kellen Russell at Red Hawk Wrestling Club.
Back at it with Sinclair and Ferrari, and Rocco Welsh is into the semifinals. Injury default on mat 3.
Yes, Sinclair backing on a leg. He was in the first period, unable to convert. Great defense by Ferrari, just sort of limp-legging out.
Going back to the semifinals for the 2nd consecutive year is Max McAnally, 8-6 over the Cowboy Knightenbach. Anything stand out, Jordan, watching Sinclair and Ferrari? You seen opening from either one of these guys?
Yeah, I think Sinclair has been deep on the single leg on numerous occasions. I believe this is the 4th deep single where he's gotten his hands locked. He's gotten behind the hamstring. And here he's going to try to shelf the foot, and he's gotten it all the way up to his feet, but just has a really difficult time finishing. Talk about being underrated. I'd say Angelo Ferrari's scrambling ability, leg defense, is phenomenal. I know he wrestles from the 3-point stance often, so it's hard to penetrate his defense, but it's hard to finish even when you're there.
But what's interesting is in a lot of this match, he's been more in the hand fight, and he's been off of that 3-point stance. And I think that's created some interesting openings for Sinclair to get to that back left leg. But to your point, he's doing such a good job of going through the process of trying to finish that single, but Ferrari just too stingy and just awesome work defending.
I think the key here is going to be whether Sinclair can stay focused or not. You get to a guy's leg 4 times, you're unable to finish. Anxiety starts to be induced, but also frustration. You're looking for stall warnings from the referee. You're looking for the referee to get involved. You think you're the aggressor and you're taking the risk. You're hoping that it's going to get rewarded somehow.
They are going to sudden victory. This match very reminiscent of the one that we saw back in mid-November in Tulsa at the Paycom National Duels, a match won by Ferrari in the tiebreakers.
Yeah, and to Jordan's point, I mean, he's getting to the same attack over and over again and not finishing. So to keep that composure, maybe having confidence, you will convert if you keep